Hey there, Filmflix fam! Today we're diving deep into some seriously gorgeous nightmares. You know those films where every single frame could be a painting, but also you're low-key terrified the whole time. Like visually stunning, but also deeply unsettling. And hey, before we jump in, all the streaming info is waiting for you in that first pinned comment, so check it out. Trust me, you're gonna want to watch these. Alright, let's get into it.
It has found us.
Okay, it's 1906, you've got Helen Mirren in this absolutely bonkers mansion that just keeps getting bigger because ghosts are literally telling her where to build the next room. I mean, come on. The whole vibe is just dripping with atmosphere. Creaky floorboards, mysterious hallways, construction happening at midnight because some spirit demanded it. And Jason Clarke plays this laudanum-addicted psychiatrist who's sent to prove she's lost it. But surprise, maybe she hasn't. The Winchester company just wants her money back, basically. Is it the scariest thing you'll ever watch? Probably not, but honestly, the set design alone is worth it, and there's something weirdly compelling about watching Helen Mirren communicate with the dead while everyone thinks she's just rich and eccentric. The jump scares are pretty standard horror fare, but the whole haunted mansion built by ghost architects thing, that's genuinely wild. This is Winchester, and it's like if your weird rich aunt's house was actually designed by vengeful spirits. Oh my god, this one is just pure survival chaos. So Megan Fox wakes up handcuffed to her dead husband. Yeah, you heard that right. And then these two absolute lunatics show up looking for diamonds, and she's stuck in this freezing lake house with literally no way out. It's like Home Alone meets a really dark episode of Cheaters, if that makes any sense. The whole thing is this insane cat and mouse game where she's gotta outsmart everyone while literally chained to a corpse in the middle of winter. Talk about a bad day. And honestly, Megan Fox really shows up here. Like, she goes from terrified to tactical, and you can see her brain working overtime trying to figure out how to survive when everything, and I mean everything, is stacked against her. The frozen lake scene's absolutely nerve-wracking. Sure, you might see the ending coming, but getting there is such a wild ride that you almost don't care. This is till death, and it proves that sometimes the worst prison is one you're literally locked into.
You're going to be great.
Alright, buckle up, because Nicholas Winding Refn went absolutely unhinged with this one. It's about the fashion industry, but like, if the fashion industry was a literal nightmare fever dream painted in neon lights and drenched in blood. Elle Fanning plays this innocent teenage model who realizes she's gorgeous and then just transforms into this predator herself. The whole thing is gorgeous and grotesque at the same time, like you're watching these stunning visuals while simultaneously feeling deeply uncomfortable about everything happening on screen. There are scenes that are pure Kubrick meets David Lynch on acid, and then it just keeps getting weirder. Keanu Reeves shows up as the world's creepiest motel manager, which is delightful in the worst way possible. Does it get excessive? Oh, absolutely. Does it sometimes feel like it's being weird just to be weird? Maybe. But when it hits that sweet spot between beautiful and horrifying, it's genuinely unforgettable. This is the Neon Demon, and it'll make you reconsider ever wanting to be a model.
Thomas, your sister, she's gone.
Dan Stevens infiltrating a death cult on a remote island in 1905? Sign me up. This is Gareth Evans, the guy who made The Raid, so you know things are gonna get bloody. But honestly, the first half is all psychological dread and mud and dirt, and then the second half just goes full gore mode. Our guy Thomas is trying to rescue his sister from this Prophet Malcolm situation, played by Michael Sheen doing his unhinged cult leader thing. And the whole community is falling apart because their goddess is starving and everyone's desperate. The aesthetic is just gritty and grimy in the best possible way, and the cinematography makes everything feel claustrophobic even though they're on this big island. Is it a bit all over the place? Sure. Does it fully make sense? Debatable. But honestly, I respect the absolute commitment to the vision here. Like, Evans just went for it without caring if audiences would get it, and there's something beautiful about that kind of artistic chaos. This is Apostle, and it's proof that faith and desperation make a truly terrifying combo.
Yeah, I just found another body.
This one of your missing person?
True crime fans, this one's for you. Nicolas Cage and John Cusack in a cat and mouse thriller based on an actual Alaskan serial killer? Yeah, it's intense. Cusack plays Robert Hansen with this absolutely chilling guy next door energy, like he's just a baker and family man who also happens to hunt women for sport in the Alaskan wilderness. The casual horror of it all. And Cage is surprisingly restrained here, playing the detective who actually listens to Vanessa Hudgens' teenage prostitute character when nobody else will. Those scenes between Cage and Hudgens run genuinely the heart of the film, just two people trying to build trust when the system keeps failing them. The cinematography uses all these tight close-ups that make everything feel urgent and claustrophobic, and then you get these massive aerial shots of Alaska that remind you just how vast and terrifying Hanson's hunting ground was. It's got familiar serial killer movie beats, sure, but the performance is elevated beyond standard true crime fare. This is the frozen ground, and it's a reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters look exactly like everyone else. Oh hey, quick thing, if you're vibing with this list so far, do me a huge favor and smash that subscribe button and drop a like on this video. It seriously helps us keep bringing you these amazing movie recommendations. And plus, you'll never miss out when we drop new content. We've got so much good stuff coming your way, and I want you here for all of it. Alright, back to the beautiful nightmares. Guillermo del Toro said, "What if I made the most gorgeous haunted house movie ever and then just did that?" This whole film is like watching a painting come to life, except the painting is also trying to kill you. Mia Wasikowska plays this American heiress who marries Tom Hiddleston, which, honestly, fair, and moves into this absolutely decaying English mansion, where red clay literally seeps through the floors like blood. Jessica Chastain is there being all mysterious and terrifying as his sister, and the whole thing has major Rebecca and Notorious vibes, but with way more ghosts. Del Toro built actual physical sets instead of using CGI, and you can feel it in every single frame. The textures, the decay, the way the house is basically a character itself with entire sections open to the sky and snow falling inside. It's gothic romance meets psychological horror, and every visual motif, the teacups, the keys, the crimson clay, means something. Is it more beautiful than scary? Probably, but honestly, when a movie looks this stunning while also being genuinely creepy, I'm not complaining. This is Crimson Peak, and it's basically visual poetry with ghosts. Oh boy, this one caused drama before it even came out. Liberal elites hunting conservatives for sport. Yeah, it's as controversial as it sounds, but honestly, the outrage was way bigger than the actual movie deserves. Betty Gilpin absolutely carries this thing as Crystal, this reluctant badass who's just trying to survive while rich people hunt her for fun. It's satire, but like pretty shallow satire that borrows from internet conspiracy theories without really saying anything meaningful about them. The whole Manorgate thing could have been biting political commentary, but instead it just leans into stereotypes from both sides and calls it a day. That said, watching Betty Gilpin kick ass is genuinely entertaining, and there are some solid action sequences. Hilary Swank shows up as a villain, which is fun. But let's be real, this movie is way more famous for the Twitter controversy than for anything it actually accomplishes as a film. The cinematography and design are pretty forgettable, honestly. This is The Hunt, and it's proof that social media outrage doesn't always mean the thing is actually that interesting.
Please, come in.
Darren Aronofsky really said, "I'm gonna make the most bonkers, divisive, metaphorical nightmare possible," and somehow got Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem to star in it. This movie starts as a simple couple in a remote house gets unexpected guest situation, and then just spirals into absolute surreal chaos that will melt your brain. Jennifer Lawrence is renovating their home while Javier Bardem's writer character soaks up attention from strangers. And then Ed Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer show up and things get weird. And then things get really weird. And then the ending happens and you're just sitting there like, did that actually just happen? It's about creation, artistic versus literal, and male ego and female instinct, and honestly, it's designed to make you uncomfortable and confused and angry and fascinated all at once. Pfeiffer absolutely steals every scene she's in. The whole thing is shot with suffocating close-ups and no establishing shots, so you're trapped in Lawrence's perspective as reality just crumbles. Does it make total sense? No. Will people argue about it forever? Absolutely. This is Mother, and it's basically Aronofsky going, let me show you my nightmares for 2 hours.
Check this out. It's like they're stuck in a continuous mutation. Anything interesting in there?
Tarkovsky-inspired sci-fi horror about self-destruction in biology and trust. Yes, please. This movie is absolutely gorgeous and deeply unsettling in ways that burrow under your skin. Natalie Portman goes into this mysterious zone called the Shimmer after her husband returned from it all wrong, and everything inside is mutating and evolving in these beautiful, horrifying ways. The whole thing maintains this constant sense of danger and biological wrongness, like nature's doing things it shouldn't, and the sound design makes everything feel disorienting and frightening. There's this night attack scene that's pure John Carpenter's The Thing energy, and the visuals throughout are just stunning. All those refracting colors and mutations and corrupted DNA made visible. Does the structure get a bit frustrating? Yeah. Is the ending maybe the weakest part? Possibly. But honestly, the journey is so visually striking and thematically rich that it barely matters. Paramount didn't even believe in it enough to give it a full theatrical release, which is wild because this is easily one of the best sci-fi films of recent years. This is Annihilation, and it'll make you terrified of your own selves. Robert Eggers really showed up and said, here's a feminist folktale about a Puritan family destroying themselves, and created an absolute masterpiece. This isn't jump scares or cheap thrills. This is slow burn dread about a colonial family falling apart, and whether it's actually witchcraft or just paranoia and patriarchal pressure tearing them down. Anya Taylor-Joy is Thomasin, the teenage daughter who becomes the scapegoat for everything going wrong. Failed crops, missing baby, you name it. And watching her journey is absolutely riveting. The film looks like a Vermeer painting come to life, all natural lighting and carefully composed shots, but the mood is just oppressively dark. Is there actually a witch? Maybe. Are the family's real demons their own fears and prejudices projected onto this girl going through puberty? Also maybe. The ambiguity is what makes it so powerful. The sound design and animal imagery, oh my god, that goat, create this atmosphere that's both inviting and deeply unsettling. It's basically an anti-parable about finding power through unorthodox means, and it refuses to give you easy answers. This is The Witch, and it's the perfect example of horror as art. And hey, if you loved this video, you're gonna want to stick around because next up, we're diving into the top 10 best rescue and survival movies based on true stories. Real life, edge of your seat drama that'll leave you feeling pumped and inspired. Click that video right now, trust me, those real life survival stories are absolutely mind-blowing. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, Filmflix fam. Keep watching, keep loving movies, and I'll see you in the next one.